Hi, all the signs of the Zodiac. I'm Pam, and welcome to your mid-month Psychic Tarot update for March 2019. I'm using the Hanson-Roberts Tarot deck. And remember, these are general readings, and to get messages pertaining specifically for you, you would need a private reading. Please be sure to watch your rising sign and your moon sign, because some months they're going to resonate more for you than your sun sign will. I'm going to let you guys know ahead of time, some of these cards, not all of them, but some of them were a little tricky. And I feel this is because we're in Mercury in retrograde from March 5th through the 28th. And I have some close friends that are astrologers that have told me that this is going to be a doozy. And, we're already in it. So some of you signs may go, yeah, this Mercury in retrograde is kicking my butt. For me personally, it started kicking my butt before the shadow period in early February. So hopefully you guys are faring well through this Mercury in retrograde, and we'll see what comes up here for you in this mid-month Psychic Tarot update. So the first sign I'm going to start with, as always, is Aries. Aries, the first card you have of the two is the Three of Rods, and this is a card of success. This is waiting patiently for success to come in or letting go of something so success can come to you. Sometimes this is being at the beginning of some successful business venture or enterprise or communication or the birth of something that's going to be successful. I feel like you may have to do things over again this month, Aries. It's like you have to double check your facts, your figures, especially if you're doing any paperwork or taxes or accounting of any kind. You have to be really checking that twice and possibly doing some things over again. I see some of you, Aries, seeking out counsel or advice, my guides are saying, for your next series or stage of development. So if something's progressing forward in your life in a work situation, a new business, or something else, I feel you're going to be consulting possibly professionals, lawyers, accountants, bookkeepers. If you're feeling a little uncertain about some of the things going on, you may even be talking to spiritual counselors, advisors, psychics. If you like church and you have a favorite minister, priest, clergyman, you may be seeking advice and counsel from them. I feel some of you, Aries, are going to have a whole new outlook because I see people being willing to pay you money to do things, maybe on a consulting basis. This could be a new job. It could be a new aspect to your job. It could be something you're going to do on the side in addition to a job you already do. Or you could be starting a business or maybe providing some kind of services. But I get money coming to you, people wanting to pay you money for your work, your services, your knowledge. Maybe you're going to become a consultant or an advisor of some sort. And I see some of you, Aries, my guides are telling me, you're going to tell everybody how it's going to play out. Almost like the law of attraction, or you're having a psychic intuition or impression about it. And I feel that it's going to play out with what you're going to say. It's almost like your words come into reality. You have strong manifesting capabilities in this mid-month of March, even though Mercury's in retrograde and can create delays, throw wrenches into things, as all of you probably know about Mercury in retrograde and its antics and tricks that it can bring into life. I still feel like you're going to be having some real success here. So the card that you have with it, or that came up with it, is the Four of Rods. And the Four of Rods could be a marriage card. You could be getting married. You could be throwing a wedding. You could be attending a wedding. You could be getting married. It could be about your marriage. You may have some kind of success here with that because the two cards came up together. As all mid-month readings with me, there are two cards. It can also be parties and celebrations. It can also be success in springtime. I'm hearing you're going to have some spectacular view with what you're doing. You could be on a vacation. You could have a new office. I don't know but like I get this elevated view. Now I'm taking it literally. Like I feel like you're looking at some amazing view here, but it could be a view of your future. I feel like you need to assemble things differently and maybe go about things in a new pattern, new way. This could be in love relationships. It could be in a marriage, but it could be in what you're doing, creating, working, or saying that's going to bring you success, because these two cards are linked together. Some of you are going to have a new home that's going to be built. And this building of the home could be completed or started in August. And some of you are going to launch into travel or a series of events that are going to lead you to travel, because I see you going from one thing to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. That comes up here. It's like wise for you to be determined here and to not let yourself get like deterred from your success or your purposes, or try not to become lazy or lackadaisical or fearful in any way, because determination is going to be your friend. Even though I know it's not a great time to start things, but just becoming determined is important. If you've gotten married recently, you're going to have gains through people giving you money. Some of you will have gotten married recently or will be getting married soon, and you have people that are going to give you money, but that doesn't apply to all of you. So I hope those messages were of help to you. Now on to the sign of Taurus. Taurus, the first card you have is the Nine of Swords. This is, it could be grieving the loss of a love relationship, grieving for some other reason. It could also be sleepless nights, worriment, not feeling well, bad dreams, headaches. We'll have to see why it's here. I feel like you've gotten everything in order and everything in alignment, and for some reason, something's just not working. It's like breaking down or not working. Now, this could be a love relationship. It could be a situation, but for some of you, it could actually be a car or something mechanical, something you put together and think it's just not working right. And I hear you saying in your mind, I just can't keep doing this anymore. It has to work. Something has to change or work out. So again, it could be a love relationship, or it could be somebody you're dealing with, because your second card here is the Emperor, but I'm still reading the first card. Yeah, it's like, I feel like you feel like something's hanging over your head, or you got like a noose around your neck, or something strangling you or making you feel, burdened, tied down, like a cloud hanging over your head kind of feeling. And I see you putting a lot of energy and mental energy into saying to yourself, I have to figure this out. And you may even need some help. So if you're taking care of a sick loved one, a family member, or there's some problem where things keep breaking down and you can't, you think they're going to work, but then they don't, you may have to either hire somebody or get somebody in to help you with what's going on here in mid-March. I feel like one of the things that's going to help you is to put systems in place, or a routine in place, or something in place that you stick to, like sticking to something. It could be a protocol, a program, I don't know. But somehow that's going to help you with what's going on. Putting like a system or things in order or things in place and then sticking to it. Could be a schedule. You may be going through feelings of abandonment, or feeling cut off from people, or just feeling cut off in some way. Also comes up here for some of you Tauruses. So the second card you have here is the Emperor, so they could be linked together, or it could be a separate issue, thing going on here. You have the Emperor is either a deceased paternal figure on the other side, or a strong male figure that's deceased on the other side, influencing you, giving you ideas, watching over you, guiding you, protecting you. It could be somebody in the living. Now, this would either be, to me, it's usually a person. Not always, but sometimes the Emperor is for me. Likely, it usually is. It's either a father, grandfather, stepfather, a boss, ex-boss, husband, ex-husband, boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, brother, uncle, somebody strong, could even be non-related to you, could just be a strong male figure in your life. They feel like they're the ones that's burdening you. I get the feeling here that many of you Tauruses feel like you have to do everything for them. Maybe not always, but at least in this mid-month of March. And they may be somebody that needs care or needs some kind of attention or focus. And I hear the words like they need something revised. What's going on with them? If they're ill, I don't know that they're on the right medication or treatment, or their home care, or their wherever they are, something needs to be revised. If they're not sick or ill to you, and they're not of ill health, then still, they need some kind of attention, and something in their life needs to be revised no matter what. Some of you, this could be somebody that you've put a lot of your energy into for a very long time, like a husband or a boyfriend or your significant other, and you may feel like you just can't do it anymore. Like you may feel like it's time for you to part ways with them. But be careful of making those kind of decisions when Mercury is retrograde, because very often once Mercury goes direct and you're like sitting there in the middle of April going, why did I make that decision? You may regret the decision or want to change it. And they could even be somebody that's having problems or issues with paperwork, taxes, finances. If it's not their ill health, if it's not that issue, they could be having those kind of issues, financial issues, or like I said, or preparing their taxes, or financial problems. I don't know. It's going to be different for all of you Tauruses, what's going on with you and the Emperor. So I hope these messages were of help to you. Now on to the sign of Gemini. Gemini, the first card you have is the Eight of Swords, and this is trapped in an emotional prison or trapped in a situation you can't see how to get out of. It could be feeling trapped in some other way. I feel like you've got some uncertainty, and something is clouding your mind or your vision about what it is the next steps of what you need to do. You may be focusing on finances. Some of you are going to be really focusing on how can you stretch $1. Maybe, maybe there's been cutbacks, or you just feel like the prices of things are getting too high. There could have been some life changes that happened for you that now you're more, you're concerned about money. But I see you, like some of you are thinking about how you can, stretch your money. I do feel that some of you have had some people putting you into some odd positions that have kind of been instigating you. And when I say odd positions, it could be uncomfortable positions, daunting positions. This could be at work, it could be a family member, it could be a significant other, a romantic partner. I don't know who's doing it because it's a general reading, but I do feel like you've kind of been either boxed in or pushed into a corner, or people have been testing your nerves or pushing your buttons. I also get that vibe here through this Eight of Swords card for you, Geminis. You may be thinking about getting some kind of surgery, or like something cosmetic even. I don't feel like it's big surgery, although for some of you it could be. But it could be, minor things like getting moles removed, or getting LASIK, which I'm not saying that's minor. I mean, for God's sakes, it's your eyes. I mean, I don't know what it is, but I'm not feeling like this is open heart surgery. It feels more like more minor surgical procedures, but I don't make light of that because anytime you get anesthesia, it can be a worry. So I'm not making light of it. But some of you may be thinking about that, or mulling it over, or having some kind of like consternation, like, do I do it? Do I not do it? Am I going to do this, or do I wait, or should I not do it at all? Like that kind of feeling is swirling around here. So you may feel stuck or trapped by those decisions. Next card you have is the Hermit. This is spiritual guidance. Your spirit guides are lighting the way. They're showing you the path to go. And you could even be the Hermit, where you're taking a step back, getting a lay of the land, and then you're going to proceed forward, but you're still going to be guided by your spirit guides. Now, Here are the two cards you have together. So you have the Eight of Swords with the Hermit are your two cards. You're going to be relying a lot on your wits, your smarts, your intuition, your spirit guides, your spiritual guidance this mid-month of March. It's almost like you have to show up, be present, show people how it's done, or do the work, or put it out there, and then you have to leave it alone and let it go. So it's almost like that give it up to God kind of energy, that give it up to the universe energy. I feel like there's something going on where you're like, you know what? This is getting to be dicey. There's too many things that are in question. I have too much uncertainty, so all I can do is do what I know how to do. Come in, do the work, put it down, whatever I have to do, and turn around and get out of there. And leave the rest up to how, like, let the chips fall where they may kind of energy comes up here for some of you Geminis. The Hermit is also asking you Geminis to step outside of yourself and view yourself as if you're a spectator. Like, you know how sometimes when you have dreams, you're in your body, like looking through your eyes, having the dream, and at other times it's like you're watching a movie. I have dreams like that. It's almost like you need to do that. You need to watch your life like as if you're a spectator, not in it. And see how you view your life from that position. I feel like there's something your spirit guides think you're going to get out of that. And out of the situations, looking at what came up here in the Eight of Swords card too. Like, step out of yourself, like you're viewing your life as it's a movie. See what you think of it. Some of you Geminis are going to feel like you want to I hear retaliation really strong. If you've been jilted by a lover, a spouse, a romantic partner, or anybody else, a friend, a coworker, you're going to have this really strong energy like you want to retaliate. But I don't feel like it's really the right time for that. I feel like hold your horses on that and wait until after we get out of this retrograde period and see how you feel when you're in April. So I hope these messages were of help to you. Now on to the sign of Cancer. Just like Taurus, you also got the Emperor. So the Emperor is a paternal figure that's crossed over to the other side, watching you, guiding you, protecting you, giving you ideas and inspirations that may feel like yours, but they may be coming actually from the Emperor. Could be also some strong male figure in the living. It could be a father, a grandfather, a great-grandfather, a boss, an ex-boss, a husband, an ex-husband, a brother, an uncle, or somebody that's a friend to you or a strong male presence in your life. Now, I know some tarot readers don't read the Emperor like that, but the Emperor usually comes up for me that way. Some of you Cancers may be a little bit annoyed by a strong male figure that's trying to shut down what you want to do or shut you down. You may have high hopes, or you've been doing things really well, or jobs have been going good, or things you've been producing or creating have been going really well. But this Emperor feels like they want to stop you, block you, throw a wrench into what you're doing. So I feel like they're a bit of a source of aggravation for you. I feel like they're being like bossy to you. And I feel like the Emperor feels like they need to talk to me or see me every day, or Cancer needs to listen to what I say every day, or do things I need them to do. That's how I feel they look at you. They're looking at you. I feel like you're looking at them like they're a nuisance, like you wish they would stop bothering you and go away. So for some of you, this Emperor could be your boss, or like an owner of a business that's, buzzing around, or a parent, or, a brother, I don't know, but somebody that is like causing you a little bit of disruption and kind of like muxing things up for you. And you're like, you know what? Really? Yeah, I'd be happy if you just exited the situation. That's what I see many of you Cancers feeling like about this Emperor. Because I feel like he's like dogmatic, like he's got to have his way. I feel like he's stubborn, he's controlling, he's curmudgeon-y. He's like, I want this way and that way. He could be, if he's a boss, he could be a real micromanaging taskmaster kind of guy for some of you. But On the other hand, I do feel that the Emperor also holds prosperity and abundance for you in some way. So, like I said, there's some tie here. I don't think you're totally going to tell this Emperor goodbye or see ya. Although I feel like you would like to in mid-March. You have the Page of Pentacles with it. The Page of Pentacles could be a earth sign person. This could be a Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, sun sign, rising sign, or moon sign. It could also be a child. Sometimes pages are children. It could be a messenger about money because pages bring in messages. It could be an adult that's young at heart or immature. The Emperor could also be the Page of Pentacles. They came in here together. The Page of Pentacles could also be your rising sign or moon sign if you have an earth sign as your rising or moon sign. The Page of Pentacles feels to me like they're lonely, they're cut off, they're isolated. They want things to happen faster. For some of you, the Emperor is the same person. For some of you, it's not. This Page of Pentacles may be going through deep depression. And if it is the Emperor, maybe that's why they're getting like real bossy and controlling. Because maybe they're going through depression. But this Page of Pentacles feels to me like they are. Whether it's the Emperor or not. And I feel like you have to do things to help this person, this Page of Pentacles person. You may have to give them money. But I do feel like you have to do things to kind of like help them out in some way. I'm not sure what way because it's a general reading. So you could be helping somebody out in many ways. Health-wise, running errands for them, giving them money, being a shoulder to cry on. I mean, the possibilities are endless. I feel like they're looking to you for guidance or like to help them. Like, help me, guide me, lead me. I get like the looking, imploring you kind of energy, like for help. You may look at them like they are a little stubborn, a little controlling, possibly a little narcissistic. I do feel for most of you, the Emperor and the Page of Pentacles are the same person. I do. I do feel, you know, it could change after Mercury goes direct, but I do feel like you're going to kind of give in to them, at least in the mid-month of March. So I hope these messages were of help to you. Now on to the sign of Leo. First card you have here, Leo, is the Two of Cups. So this is two people that are fated, destined, meant to be, intertwined. Could be soulmates, could be twin flames. There is very likely love here. But it could be, sometimes your kids, you could be a soulmate with a kid, a parent. But usually to me, it's a love partnership that's destined or meant to be. I feel like some of you, Leos, may have been going through a relationship trauma or difficulty. And I feel like you're going to have some kind of breakthrough this month. So if you've had rocky times with your partner, I feel like you're going to have a breakthrough and things are going to get healed. But it could also be not necessarily rocky times between the two of you. It could be circumstances in your relationship, like with family members, with finances, with jobs. I mean, there's a lot of ways that things could be like tricky or at odds, but I feel like it's going to get resolved for you this month of March, or if it doesn't happen in March, I feel it's going to happen in April. I really see you and a partner really, really treating each other with kindness. Now, if you're not coupled with somebody, then this is a different kind of relationship, not love. It would be, then you would fall into the category of, this is me and my child. This is me and my parent. This is me and a best friend. Because the Two of Cups doesn't always mean romantic love. So you just have to figure it out which scenario this plays into for you. Some of you are going to be working very diligently on some kind of project plan or idea with either your love partner or one of the other people I said this could apply to. And I feel like there's going to be a whole new outlook here with the two of you. And I feel like whatever kind of relationship this is, it's like it's pumping your relationship up and giving it steam. like to make it go. It's improving it. It's helping it. It's elevating it. It's making it better. Some of it may be like there's some like filling up the gaps, filling in gaps that have been going on in the relationship. And if lack of employment, or if one of the partners' employment has been in question or rocky or a little jagged, I feel like new employment or new improvement happens in that area. But that's not going to be the case for all of you. So let's look at the second card here. You have another good card. You have the Nine of Cups. This is wish fulfillment, feeling at peace and contentment, feeling emotionally good and full and happy, and some kind of wish that you wanted to see happen is coming true. And look, you got these two cards together. Now, if you're single, maybe you're meeting your twin flame, soulmate, significant other, soul, somebody you're going to have a soul connection with. Yeah, I definitely get like Leos are going to feel like they're on cloud nine. Some of you, this is going to be you're finding your new best friend, or a best friend to you or a close friend is now turning into a love relationship. It's tricky in a general reading. So I know you may be like, what's she talking about? But these are the different messages my guides are telling me, because there's many, many Leos that are going to listen to this. And it's almost like you're part of a team, you're part of a couple, you're part of a pair. So even if it doesn't turn out to be a love relationship, there's some kind of team situation. The two of you are becoming a team or partners in some way. Some of you, that there's been a rebirth, a reigniting of a love relationship, or of a relationship, like something's getting like a rebirth. Something new is being generated here, and it's going to make you happy and feel good. These are both positive cards. Some of you are really going to be kind of showing off, going out on the town, living it up. And again, I'm going to repeat myself, don't shoot me. If it's a best friend to you, you may have found your best friend and you're going to be like partners in crime. I don't mean literal crime, but you know what I mean? Like partners, like out on the town, like we look hot. We're out here. We're going there. Get out of our way. We're toasts of the town. You may find a friend like that. If it's not you and a friend that way, then it's you with your partner, or you with a new love partner that's going to be that way for you in this mid-month of March. And my guides are saying, Leo, you can have it all, but you have to pace yourself. So if things are like, if you feel like, man, you've rolled the dice and you're on some kind of lucky streak, don't burn yourself out. Ride the wave. Let it go in a nice, make the most of it. Don't burn it out too quickly. So I hope those messages made sense to you. Now on to the sign of Virgo. Virgo, the first card you have here is the World, and this is feeling in control. Planets in the heavens, spirit guides around you could be conspiring to bring you more control. You could be ending a karmic cycle in your life, and now new cycles are beginning. Sometimes that comes up with the World. This is your time to shine, Virgo. This is your time to shine. If you go up for some kind of audition, you're going to get the part. If you go in to try to get a new job and there's other people vying for it, Virgo's going to get the new job. If you're bidding on a house and there's a bidding war going on, Virgos are going to get the house. You're coming into a time, Virgo, where you like gotta strut your stuff, show the world what you can do. Now's your time. Like my guides are like saying, it's really time to show up, be present, put your best foot forward. I don't even feel like you need to worry about it. It's like, I don't want to make you too relaxed, but on the other hand, I don't want you to be uptight because I feel like anything where you're like, oh, I gotta step up in front of a bunch of people and make a speech, a dance, a song, a theatrical performance, to an audition to get some other kind of job, not in acting and not in the, because sometimes like, hey, when you're a pastry chef, I had to audition for jobs quite a few times to get them. So there's jobs that require auditions that are not just in the entertainment industry. So what I'm saying to you is you got to show up, you got to be present, you got to put your best foot forward. But I feel like you're going to get it, so I want you to relax and enjoy yourself and let your true self shine through, because I feel like you're coming into a real stroke of luckiness. And not that it's lucky. I mean, Virgo, you're putting the efforts in and you've done the work. So I don't want to make it sound like it's just luck. It's luck. It's lucky, but it's your karma. It's luck you've created for yourself. It's like you're getting your karmic rewards, I feel. Maybe that's a better way to state it. If any new situations present themselves to you, like what I'm discussing, there is going to be a little bit of a learning curve or a time where you need to get acclimated to some changes, but I feel like you're going to be on top of it. You're going to be able to do it. I don't see you struggling. Now, the card you have that came up with it, your second card here in this reading, is Page of Rods. So the Page of Rods is a fire sign person. This could be an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius. That could be their sun sign, their rising sign, or their moon sign. That could be your rising sign or moon sign if you have a fire sign as your rising or moon sign. The Page of Rods could be a child. It could also be an adult that's young at heart. It could be a messenger that's coming in and giving you a message about work, business, enterprise, communication, the birth of something even. I feel you could be instructing people, teaching others, showing people how to do things. It could be online. It could be in YouTube videos. It could be in classes. It could be in seminars. It could be, you could be training somebody new at your job one-on-one and you have to, or new recruits. I mean, I don't know, but you've got some like teaching people, training, educating, showing others. This is coming up here through this Page of Rods card. Some of you are going to have a new relationship where you're going to start seeing someone new. And this new person could have sun, moon, or rising sign. That's a fire sign. I do feel like for some of you Virgos, your thoughts and feelings are changing about yourself or what you're doing. And I do get the sense like you want to put yourself out there. If you've been resistant to do that, if you wanted to write a book and you've been afraid, or you wanted to do a YouTube channel and you've been like resistant to it, or you wanted to put yourself out there in some other way, like, I don't know, in some kind of performing capacity or whatever, I see you, your thoughts about it are changing. I feel like you're going to be willing, really willing to take risks, take chances, whereas maybe before you were like too hesitant or you were a little fearful to do that. And if you applied for any jobs or auditioned for anything already, I feel like you're going to get a call back to come back in and re-interview, or come back in again and re-audition. Like you getting a call back comes up here too with this Page of Rods card. One thing you need to be cautious of, Virgo, is don't be too fickle though, because I feel like you might need to be making some kind of decision and you don't want to be wishy-washy or fickle. So if you can put off to making the decision and it's not going to affect anything, then do so. But if they need answers from you now, don't be wishy-washy or fickle about the decision. So I hope these messages made sense to you. Now on to the sign of Libra. And the first card you have here, Libra, is the Five of Rods. So the Five of Rods could be a struggle. It could be a struggle internally in you. It could be a struggle with coworkers, family members, friends, groups, clubs, or organizations you belong to. Some of you have so many things you have going on inside of you, and also so many things that you want to tackle, or you feel like are obligations or things you need to do in front of you. It's like you don't know what to do first. I get that energy for some of you Libras. You may be at odds with somebody that wants to take down something that you did, some work that you did, or tear apart something you did and say, this isn't right, that's not right, you need to redo this, or this isn't very good, or something that's been posted somewhere online or at work or somewhere, and somebody wants to take it down. So, or you could be, and I feel like this could be like you struggling with them over it. I don't know that you can stop them. You might be able to, but I feel like there's a struggle with you about this happening. I do pick up that some of you are going to be in some kind of situation where there's been some sort of misunderstanding with a few people, and I get bickering going on. And this bickering could be going on with somebody that has like a lofty ways of behaving or high ideals, and they may be sitting in a little bit of an ivory tower, Libra, and kind of looking down at you in some way, and you might not like that. Somebody that may have a superiority complex, or they think that they're the bee's knees, they think they're the top cat kind of situation. And I feel like there is going to be like people that could resort to like making fun of each other, or cutting each other down to size. That could come up here. So some of you could be arguing with friends or siblings. And I feel that some of you Libras may be a little bit on your high horse too. I'm not saying you're wrong at doing that, where you're like, I want things to be set right. I want things to be made right. And you may not feel like that's what's happening with the other people in this situation. Now, the second card you have here is Four of Swords, and the Four of Swords is a pause, a resting phase, a meditative state, a recuperation from an illness. So it's here together. Oddly enough, they're like, they don't look like they're talking about the same thing, but I don't know. I have to see what it says. So you've got the Five of Rods struggling with this meditative state. It could also mean prayer sometimes when the Four of Swords comes up. I see you saying, I have got to get out of this situation. I have to get away from it. So this Five of Rods situation, you're going to be like, I'm out of here. I got to get out of here. I feel like, don't be surprised, Libra, if you find yourself leaving something abruptly. Like, I'm out of here. I don't even mean like people see it coming. You may be like, see ya right now. Because I feel like you need to do that. It's going to be, whatever this Five of Rods things is, some of you, it really might get tense, bickering. Like I said, not all of you, this is a general reading. And if my messages here are not making sense to you for your sun sign, first of all, you need to see if it's right or not by the time you get into April. You can't really judge it till you get through the whole month of March. But the other thing is, watch your rising sign or moon sign, because your messages may be coming to you there. But I feel like some of you are going to be in this like tense bickering situation where people do like resort to low blows, or they say stuff that's like cutting. And you may feel like the best thing for you to do is to exit the situation. I feel like you are going to go into retreat mode after this. And I feel like you may seclude yourself away or not deal with some of these people for a little while. I'm not saying you're done with them forever, but you may be like, time out, not talking to them for a month or 2 weeks or until Mercury goes direct. I don't know. But I definitely get this. I'm like, you're kind of going into cocoon mode. Like, you're not going to deal with them. And I feel like for some reason, Libra, you feel like in this circumstance, you must be abrupt to like make your point. You have to do this abruptly. So it's like they get the smack of like what point you're making. So I do feel there's some abruptness on your part in dealing with what's going on. You may experience, some of you, where you feel like a family member or somebody close to you has crossed a line they shouldn't have crossed and said some things they shouldn't have. But I do feel like things are going to improve. I don't feel like this situation is going to stay stuck. I feel like it's going, and keep in mind, Libra, we are in Mercury in retrograde, and communication is dicey and people can misunderstand stuff really easily. So it's not really surprising me that this is coming up. So, you have to see how it plays out, but I do think it's going to get rectified, just not in mid-month of March. So I hope those messages were of help to you. Now on to the sign of Scorpio. And the first card you have here, Scorpio, is the Five of Swords. And the Five of Swords is standing your ground, drawing a line in the sand, standing up against any gossipers, naysayers, and detractors. It could also be if you're in a fight or an argument with someone, that you could be the victor here. You could win in that battle. Can be standing up for yourself, if I didn't already say that. You're going to feel like some kind of judgment or some words or some sentiment or feeling has come down too harsh against you. And this is going to agitate you to want to stand up for yourself. And you're going to be really adamant about proving your point. So I feel like, you know, you could be stepping up to the plate and saying, you know what? Your judgment is not right about me, or the comments that you're saying, or the way you feel about this or that is not right, because I can back it up with my view and my point, and here's my take on it. So I feel like you're going to be doing that, those kind of actions here. And I feel like this could occur right around now when this comes out, like March 15th. I'm not sure what date this is coming out. I'm recording it on the 9th of March, but it's probably going to be finished and come out on the 15th or 14th. But I get right around that time, I feel like, Scorpio, you're going to be like, I'm saying this is my feelings, and I want it all out on the table. Let's get it all out. Like, I don't feel you're going to be like, I'm not saying anything, or, oh, I'm going to be diplomatic, or, I feel like you're like, let's get it all out here on the table right now. You have to be careful, though, not to be too harsh, because I see this ball of yarn, and it's like you're pulling the string, and it could all unravel. So I'm not saying oh, you shouldn't say what you want to say, but I'd be judicious. Maybe you're going to be like, you know, Mercury in retrograde is going to be messing with you. So you may say stuff in a way that if Mercury was direct, you wouldn't say it this way. So keep in mind when you're feeling really agitated and like there's stuff you want to say, you might want to exercise some diplomacy, because once Mercury goes direct, you may wish you hadn't said some things in the way that you would be more inclined to say now, like how you feel. You may want to switch that up. So just a little word of advice, Scorpio. I can't tell you what to do. I'm just your friendly lucky mermaid here trying to give you a little heads up. So you got the Four of Rods here with it. So it could be about your marriage. It could be you with your marriage partner. It could be about a wedding you attended. It could be, this card can also be a party, a celebration. It could also be success coming to you in springtime, but these two are together. So you could be having an argument with your significant other or something like that. You may feel like there were some things that were not done right and not handled properly. I don't know what the situation is. Was it at your wedding? Was it at a party? Was it at a celebration? I don't know. Sometimes this card can also be a celebratory conclusion to something. The Four of Rods. I feel like you've held up some high ideals for everybody or for some people around you, and I feel like you got disappointed. You were disappointed about something. I see you thinking people were taking their own sweet time, they were too late or too slow, or that people weren't doing things in the proper fashion or order. You may have even felt a little bit like people were using you or abusing you recently. Or you may have felt like people were kind of making a joke or a mockery out of you, or all of the above. Because I get you, like, these cards are intertwined, but I keep wanting to go back to your reaction here on the Five of Swords. I feel like it's almost like a hornet's nest. And when I ask my spirit guides what exactly is going on here, and my guides simply use the word turmoil, So, and then I see a hornet's nest or a bee's nest with bees going bzzz all around it. So I feel like this is what's happening here. I feel like situations really improve for you about all of this in May. Some of you, yeah, it could improve in April for some of you. But for some of you, I feel like it's going to take a little longer. And that, so do I feel it's going to improve and get smoothed out? I do. But I don't necessarily feel like you get the satisfaction you want or the things to be smoothed out in the manner in which you would like or approve of in March. I feel it's either going to take for Mercury to go to direct and be in April, or it could settle it down and be right in May. So I hope these messages were of help to you. Now on to the sign of Sagittarius. First card you have, Sagittarius, is the Three of Rods. And this was a card that Aries got. So if you have a rising sign or moon sign that's Aries, you're getting that card twice. So this is success. Waiting patiently for success to come in, letting go of something so success can come to you, or you could be at the beginning stages of some good business venture, some new successful venture of some sort. I feel like Sagittarius, you're going to be pulling out all the stops and you're going to be getting your life going in a whole new direction, or getting your life going in some way. I'm seeing, my guides are showing me a lawnmower and you pull, or like a engine of a something. To me, it looks like a lawnmower, and you pulling it, you pulling that string to make that engine go, to start. So I feel like you're really getting revved up here in March. You're getting ready to get that engine started in your life. You're going to have a whole new outlook, and I see money coming to you in different ways, or through different channels, or money's just coming in, because I'm seeing money coming at you. So if you don't see it in March, money may come through in April, but I see it coming at you. I feel like you recently have, or in this month, you're learning that you have to ease up on pressure of yourself, because I feel like you've been a little hard on yourself. What's it been about, Sagittarius? I don't know. Have you been hard on yourself about the way you make decisions? Have you been hard on yourself about your weight or your appearance? Have you been hard on yourself about work or your financial status in the world? I don't know, because it's a general reading, but I do get you've been kind of rough on yourself. Maybe you haven't realized it, but it is, my guides are talking about it. It is coming up here. I do feel you're also going to be reading or looking into some information. Could be on the internet, but it could be in books or journals or textbooks or something. But most things are online anymore, that are going to be very helpful and useful to you. That you're going to be reading, and it's going to be like, man, this is the answer to this. Well, now I know how to do that. Or this is really helpful. This is going to put me in a whole new direction, or it's going to help the direction I'm on. So that comes up here. You got Ace of Cups next. Oh my gosh, this is new love relationship. It could be in a love relationship you're in. It could be reigniting, and you could have a rebirth of love in an existing love relationship. This could be like God in the universe giving you the holy grail of love, where it could be universal love. People could just be like, yay, Sagittarius, you're awesome. So you have those two cards together, success and love. Some of you are going to be partnering up with somebody new, and it does turn into a love relationship. It may not start that way. Some of you, it might. And if it's a new love relationship for you, I feel like you're going to be getting intertwined with each other really fast. And I feel like there's going to be something spectacular about this relationship. Like, it's really going to sparkle and shine. Like, wow, this is different. This is different than other relationships I've been in before. But keep in mind, for some of you that are already coupled, it could be a reigniting, a rebirth of love that you're already in. Some of you, this can be a birth of a child coming into your home, or an adoption. That comes up here also for some of you. I also feel that some of you have some kind of interesting revelations about how to improve your life, how to control spending, or improving different things in your life. So some of you, when I say you were reading something, It also comes up here like it could be a book you read that changes everything. It could be a course or seminar you take, and they could give literature out with the course or seminar that you read, and you're like, man, this is the ticket. This is what I needed to do. This is what's going to help me. This is what's going to make my life better, full of love, more improved. You know, I don't know. It's like I said, for some of you, it's connected to something you're going to learn or a course you're going to take and something you're going to study for some of you. And I also feel like Sagittarius, it's high time some things went in your favor. I'm not saying you haven't had good things happening, but I get like, this should be happening for you. This success and love. It's time. It's the right timing for you. It's like the divine timing. So I hope these messages were of help to you. Now into the sign of Capricorn. Capricorn, the first card you got is the Devil. So this could be, you could be addicted to something. You could be partnered with somebody that's got an addiction. This could also be you being trapped and addicted to an unhealthy relationship, or being trapped and bound to an unhealthy situation. It could also be like the devil could be on your shoulder, like of like negative thoughts or something like that as well. I feel that some of you, keep in mind, some of you Capricorns are going to hear of or find out some disturbing information is going to get revealed to you. And for some of you, it's going to be like upsetting to you, and it could come across as a shock. Now, I'm going to say this. I said this before to one of the other signs. I'm going to say it to you. If this doesn't make sense to you, make sure you're watching your rising sign or your moon sign. And you can't really judge whether this makes sense or not until you get into April, because these are predictions. So they may not have happened yet, or it may not resonate with you right now. Some of you may find out like some really bad information, like you're horrified that somebody stole something, or you're like so shocked and stunned that somebody, it could be a friend to you, a relative to you. It could even be a neighbor or somebody you just know of, that you're going to find out some like unsettling, upsetting information about their activities. I don't feel like it's anything you did. Now, this is a general reading, so this is how my guides are talking. I mean, they could say other things here, but this is what's coming up first. But I feel like whatever gets revealed or opened up to you, or information you find out, it's not nice, it's ugly, or it's upsetting to you, or it's shocking, or it's like, wow, that's like bad. That's what I feel first. You could also have uncovered some like horrible atrocities or misdeeds or things, even in a business, like where an employee was stealing, or the CEO was like, or, you know, the accounting was, they were fudging the books, or, so it could come up in a work situation. This doesn't just have to be like, you know, your significant other, your child, your sibling. It doesn't have to be that. It could be at work, and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe this person. We thought they were so honest, or they were so good, and here all along they were stealing, or, you know, like that's the kind of info I feel is coming out to you. They keep bringing up stealing to me, but it could be other forms of like not good behavior. There's lots of bad things people could do out there that could be, you know, you could go, oh, that's ugly. So look what you have with it, Capricorn. You got strength. So this is a card that means you have to access your inner courage and inner strength. You could have to have strength and courage over adversity. You could be taming the savage beast in something. It could possibly be dealing with a Leo, because the woman is holding the lion's head. Sometimes this is spiritual power over the material world. It could also be a card of like intense, like intuitiveness and meditation and reflection as well. So you have these two cards together, the Devil and Strength. So to me, it looks like you have to have strength in dealing with whatever this horrifying or upsetting situation or news or words that come out here with the Devil. I do feel that some of you are going to go speak to somebody that's going to help you. It could be a psychic. It could be a religious figure. It could be a professional like a doctor or a lawyer or an accountant. or a forensic attorney. I do also feel that some of you, depending on what the circumstance is, are going to go within yourself and try to find a way to solve the problem or the situation. Either through, like I said, talking to somebody else that's a professional, or figuring out how you could fix it or solve it or change it or rectify it in some way. I do feel there's going to be some element of you having to walk through fire, and that you're going to have to be brave. So I feel that some of you Capricorn and Capricorn rising people and Capricorn moon people are going to find yourself in a situation that you don't like. It could be at your job. It could be at your family. It could be in a group or a club or organization you belong to. It could also be with friends. But there's going to be some situation that you're going to have to be brave, and you're going to have to walk through this ugly fire of a situation and have strength and courage and doing some real problem solving about how you're going to deal with this, or can you fix it or solve it, or who can you consult that can help the situation. March isn't really going to be the month to resolve it. March is more like the month where the egg gets cracked open and it has to get dealt with. I feel like these things get sorted out or resolved, but I don't really feel like it's going to happen in that fashion until May, June, July, in that arc of time. It could get resolved sooner, but... So that was a little dicey one, Capricorn. I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. And if they don't make sense to you now, I hope they will make sense to you when you look back and listen and think about it when you're at like March, when you're in April 12th and you look back. I feel like it's going to make sense to some of you that it may not make sense to you right now. So now on to the sign of Aquarius. Keep in mind, as I said in the beginning of the video before we started, we are in Mercury in retrograde, and many of the signs, not many, but some of the signs are getting some really dicey stuff. And I'm going to say here before I embark on Aquarius, Mercury in retrograde, this is a dicey one in Pisces. It's not great. And Mercury does mess with communications. You're going to get through whatever it is. It's not like it's life-shattering events. They will get rectified and solved. But it's, some of the signs, it's not all coming up roses in this mid-month of March. So Aquarius, the first card that you have is the Five of Rods. And I believe Libra also got this card. So this is an internal struggle going on in you, or it could be a struggle with coworkers, family members, groups or clubs or organizations you belong to. It could also be a struggle with friendships of some sort. I feel like there's going to be so much going on, and it could have to do with family members around you, that I hear some of you Aquarians going, whoa, I don't want to get involved. I don't want to get in the mix of what's going on. And I feel like you're wise enough, Aquarius, to know that Mercury's in retrograde, and you're going to say to yourself, whoa, I got too many strong opinions about this. Or if I throw my opinions into this story, it isn't going to solve anything, and I don't want to get the fallout. I don't want people pointing their finger at me and saying, well, Aquarius said da, 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 da. So I feel like you're going to be like, I want to stay away from this situation. I don't feel like you're going to want to get in the mix of it, and I feel like you're going to keep going. Mercury's in retrograde. I'm not getting involved. I'm not saying what I want to say, because it's going to backfire, and I'm going to get dragged into it, or there's going to be backlash. And I would advise you to take that thought and remember it when this kicks up for you. I pick up like jealous people, angry people. I don't know if they're at you. I feel like it's more not at you, but I feel like you're like on the peripheral and very likely could get sucked into it. I do feel there's somebody here that wants to needle at you and get you to say something. They want you to say something. Don't do it. Don't do it, Aquarius. Don't do it. It just keeps coming up over and over and over again. Like there's too much unbridled passion here in this situation. Tempers are running way too high, and you are not wanting to get embroiled in any kind of battle. But yet I do feel like maybe more than one person, but I feel like one person is definitely trying to suck you into it. I feel like you're actually going to say, you know what? I have nothing to say because I don't want to get dragged into it. I actually feel that is what you're going to say. I feel like you're just going to lay it out there and say that. Now, look what you have with it. You have the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is turning away from what's not working for you anymore, emotionally speaking, and going off on a new journey with the stick of power and control in your hand, even though the journey may be unknown. So that makes a lot of sense to me from what they were already saying in the Five of Rods card. You're not going to want to deal with this. You are going to want to turn away. It's clear. They were already saying it. Some of you, it could even be occurring in a job situation, and you may feel like, you know what, I don't want to work at this place anymore. There's too much acrimony, too much bickering and fighting. Some of you, it's family this is happening. But for some of you, it's a work situation, and you're not going to stick with it. Even though you may be like, well, I need the money, I can't leave. I still feel ultimately you will leave a job situation where there's too much fighting, jealousy, backbiting, backstabbing. And if it's a family situation, I stand by what I already said. You're going to say, I'm not getting involved. I'm not saying anything because I don't want to get dragged into it. If it's happening in friendships, in a friendship or a club you belong to, I feel like you're going to go, I can't be friends with these people anymore. I need new associates, new associations, new friends. So I feel even in that regard, whatever scenario this is playing out in, you're like, I can't get anywhere with this situation. I'm not staying here. Because I do pick up, there's a lot of anger and resentment going on here. And I do feel like there's people like really casting blame, blaming other people is going on around you. And you're going to, when you make whatever statement you're going to make and you go, you're going to be so much better off for doing that. You're going to be happy that you did that. That's going to be the wise decision and the wise course of action here. And I hear people, I don't know that they're saying it to you, but I hear people saying, you're wrong about me. You're wrong about me. I didn't do that. I'm hearing you hear it, but I don't know whether these people are saying it to you or they're saying it to each other. I also see you Aquarians going, I have all the knowledge about this. I need to know. I'm out of here. You're going to gain some real knowledge and information and insight about what's going on. That's going to really, maybe some kind of answers that you wanted, or some things you had suspicion about, or things you were unclear about. You're going to get real clear because you're going to have the knowledge and information from whatever this is going on. Some of you may be in the mix of it, but some of you, you're witnessing it and people are trying to drag you into it. It's going to be different for all of you. So I hope these messages were of help to you. Now on to the sign of Pisces. First card you have here of the two Pisces is the Judgment card. So this is, to me, what do we think about a situation? How do we feel about it? What's the word? What's the proclamation? How are things going to go down, and how are they going to affect everybody involved? And it's usually about a particular situation. I feel like you're going to go, wow, I've heard the song and dances of everybody and I'm shocked. There's a lot of shocked going on here this month, not just for your sign. Capricorn got it. Aquarius had it a little bit. I think there was some other shocks here too earlier on. I feel that some of you Pisces are going to make some kind of statement and you're going to say, oh yeah? You want to hear what I really think about something? Well, I'm going to tell you just what I feel or think, or I feel you're the one making this statement here. I don't feel like this statement's being made to you. I feel like you're making it. Because I feel like you're going to be making clear to someone or to a group of people, could be to your family, could be to a boss or to coworkers or a friend or groups of people, where you're going to say, this is what I think about it. This is what I feel about a situation. And that's how it is. You're going to be letting people know what you think about something. I feel like there's going to be some kind of honoring and respecting of you for what you say or do in some regard. Like, this is like a respectable thing. It's not like what you're doing is wrong. It's like there's some respect that you garner from doing this. Some of you may even feel like you don't want to do something anymore. You want to stop doing something. It could be a particular job. It could be a social event that you go to on a regular basis, or a club you belong to, or something you study. I feel some of you may be saying you want to discontinue doing it. You're making a statement like, I'm done with this procedure, or this protocol, or this, thing we always do. I feel like you're going to surprise some people, Pisces. I feel like some people are going to be like, whoa, did Pisces just come out and say that? Like, I don't mean it's because you're Pisces. I just feel like it's either what you say or how you say it, or just that people aren't expecting you to say it. But I do feel like you're going to be surprising some people in March. So the second card you have here is the Magician. This is the card of the manifester. What you think about, you bring about. What's in the spiritual plane and in the ethers, you can manifest into physical reality. What's in your mind, you can bring into 3D reality here. So you have Judgment and the Magician together. Some of you may be revamping your style. Some of you may be revamping your image, or revamping something you are doing, or revamping your life in some way. And some of you Pisces are going to get really firm about what you're going to do and how you're going to do it, and what you're not going to do anymore, and the reasons why you're not going to do it. It's still, these two are like, they make sense to me together from what I'm getting here. I feel that some of you Pisces may show people or explain to people how you've suffered, and they maybe didn't know. You may have been keeping things to yourself, or you weren't letting people know the full story, and you may have been suffering in silence, or in situations that felt like you were suffering internally about it. But I feel like you're going to let them know. You're going to tell them how you have been. And I do feel that some of you Pisces are going to say, I'm not going to stand around and be pushed around anymore, or I'm not going to be bullied, or I'm not going to be coerced into doing this or that I don't want to do. I get that energy here from you. And I see you also being directive to other people around you. Like, it could be to your kids, it could be to employees, if you're a boss. But I feel you're going to be very declarative about things they need to do. It's like, Pisces, I feel like you're kind of, I guess I'm going to say in some of the message here I feel for you is like you're going to be laying down the law, not only about what you're going to do and not going to do anymore, and what you're going to tolerate and not tolerate anymore, and how it hurt you, or and that you didn't let it out, that how much it did. You're also going to be telling other people, like, you need to step up to the plate. You need to get your act together. You need to finish this. You need to get to that. If you're a supervisor or a boss, you're going to really be on your soapbox telling people what to do, because maybe people have been a bunch of slackers. I feel that for some of you. Or in your family or in your home life, you're like, what are all you people doing? You're like not doing this and that, and you need to jump on board. So Pisces, you got to see, this again, I'm going to end this here. I got to say, some of the signs, there's a lot of communication stuff that's going to be wacky and coming up, where you're going to want to tell people off or tell people what you think. That came up over and over again. Scorpio had it. Aquarius wants to avoid it. Capricorn's dealing with it for sure. Pisces, you're dealing with it. Taurus, I see it with you guys. Cancers had it too. It was running rampant in these readings. So I'm going to say, I hope these readings were of help to you. I hope they made sense. I want to thank you so much. I please, as always, thank you for watching. And please like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to get notified when I post my videos here to YouTube, make sure you click on the notification bell when you subscribe. That way you'll get notified when I upload my videos here to YouTube. This month, I did my annual What's Lucky and New for You in 2019. I do it every year. And if you're interested in finding out what's lucky and new for you in this year of 2019, you can access those videos for download and purchase by clicking on the link below this video in the Show More section. And it will take you to my Vimeo videos on demand page for what's lucky and new for you in 2019 Psychic Tarot readings for each sign of the zodiac. You can also access these videos, as always, by clicking on my website, going to my website, See, Mercury in retrograde's messing with me, www.theluckymermaid.com. Click on the videos tab on my menu, and there you will see it's probably going to be the first video series at the top of the page. You just click on your sign. It will take you to that video on Vimeo. In those videos, I made them longer than I did the other years. I pulled 6 cards, 3 cards using the Hanson Roberts Tarot deck, and 3 cards to expand and confirm on those 3 cards using the Morgan Greer Tarot deck, which is the 2 decks that I use when I do private readings. So I really feel like they were giving you really good, strong, accurate messages and predictions from my spirit guides using those cards. Also, if you're interested in getting the psychic crystal readings that I do every month for each sign of the zodiac, so if you'd like to get yours for your sign for March 2019, that link is also below this video, and it will take you to those videos on Vimeo. And you can also go to my website videos page, and there you will see the March 2019 psychic crystal readings for each sign of the zodiac. You just click on your sign and it will take you to that video on Vimeo. And if you would like to get messages and predictions from me and my spirit guides that you're not going to see here on YouTube, you can go to and follow me at The Lucky Mermaid LLC on Facebook, and also at The Psychic Pastry Chef LLC on Facebook, and on my Instagram account at The Lucky Mermaid _ Pam Georgel. So I hope you'll come over and join me there for the messages and predictions and check them out. So I certainly am like a little betwixt and befuddled about this mid-month of March, but I wish you the most amazing energy possible, and know that I wish you many blessings and peace.